What's up, my guys? We are back. This is the Juice Box, episode 161, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year. Juice, what is up?
As people can see that are watching, it is just our good-looking Harold on the screen. I've been basically since the new year pretty much been down and out. I guess we can actually talk about New Year's actually.
Yeah.
We have. So I went down to the farmhouse with my parents and Hazel. Really just wanted to ring the new year in as peaceful as possible, truthfully. So went down there, watched the incredible college football playoff games. And I think I ended up getting sick from my dad, and basically since Tuesday I've been pretty banged up.
Yeah, you hate to see it, for sure.
Seriously.
First off, smash the intro. Didn't know how that would work.
You crushed it. You crushed it, dude. You crushed it. Good work.
First time ever doing that. Yeah, as well. For me on New Year's, kind of a normal, just went to a bar. I mean, it was fun. Some parents came out, some friends just hung out at the hole all night. It was a good time.
I love that we're at that age too.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the best when like parents and I guess we're young adults. I guess that would be our categorization. Now can get together and hang out. That I love this stage where we're at.
Right. Yeah. It was, I don't know if it was more of an impromptu thing. Like it was like, one or two parents, then it ended up, branching off from there. So it was like half and half.
Hell yeah.
Just getting, buckets of beer. And
Now,
sharing
were you out till past midnight, or what was your?
Yeah, I believe I was out till they kicked me out of the bar. But
nice.
yeah. So it was.
So probably 2, 3.
Around 2:30. Yeah.
Which, did anybody even realize that the new year was coming in, or was everybody just paying attention to Ohio State and Georgia?
Well, it was sweet because it was like simultaneous, right? Like they were the kick and so it was like on dual screens and there was a countdown for both, basically.
Which it was so funny because Herb Street, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something in the realm of like, people don't even realize that in 5 seconds it's about to be the new year.
Yeah.
Everybody's just dialed in.
That's
on
what
this
I was
game.
wondering if they were like watching it in the booth too.
Yeah. Which another funny thing, this is complete sidebar, but did you see Herb Street's interview on Pardon My Take where they basically exposed that Al Michaels just eats like a
course
dinner
steak dinner
when they call the Thursday night game? That's crazy to me.
Which is wild. And the wildest part to me is like they were like, you have 8 minutes. You know what I mean? He's like sitting there talking, like, cutting a steak and everything.
Which,
I mean, like a pepperoni roll or something. That's crazy. Have a tablecloth and sit down.
Well, I mean, credit to him. Like, it's kind of funny where, remember, everybody got on Joe Buck and Troy Aikman's ass when they said they'd have a drink or two while they're it makes it better.
Yeah.
Let them get lubricated a little bit.
Which I was a little disappointed. I have no idea what their names are, but the guys who run like the New Year's Eve ball drop.
Anderson Cooper and fuck, what's the other guy's?
The other guy.
He's so funny.
And he would just get shit canned and they didn't drink this year. What's up with that?
I think his name's Andy, maybe something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, they got in trouble from the one year that they had a little too much fun, which is whack.
I mean, come on.
Which proves it goes to show stuff like that, where the Barstool Bowl, they had, I think at one time, 140,000 people watching it at once and over 1 million clicks. It's like nobody would really. I mean, I know people would have that game on. Nobody's going to tune in to watch Ohio and Wyoming.
Yeah.
The reason they did it is because of how they call the game.
And the personalities. Yeah, for sure.
Change. If modern media wants to exist, you have to go that route.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know, but yeah. 2023. Did you have any crazy New Year's resolutions?
That was my next point to bring up. So I usually try to do like a skill, and then I do the same one every year. I think literally everyone on the face of the planet does. Eat healthier and lose weight, which is going to continue hopefully. But the other one is, I feel like interpersonal communication, like one-on-one communication is like, I'm really good at like conveying thoughts in written form, and I'm pretty good in like smaller groups, but like one-on-one is not like my greatest strength. So I'm trying to,
honestly, that's a great idea.
I'm trying to improve on that, which right now it's one-on-one. We're talking to each other.
Yeah, but truly that's a good idea though. That is something very different that I don't think I've ever heard or read. Yeah. So I like that. Any challenging ones that are like the odds happening are slim to none, but you just put it on there just to see.
So the one is to do. I originally wanted to do a dry January, and then of course like I have stuff planned, and I have stuff planned in February that's kind of hard to get around. So I'm going to do 30 days of no drinking. I just don't know when.
Okay,
but it's probably going to be like a January February hybrid. And then I'm thinking about March. I might not drink that whole month too, because nothing really goes on in March.
St. Patty's Day.
You're right. All but St. Patty's Day.
March Madness.
Yeah. Speaking of Party My Take, did you see PFT's tweet about dry January?
No.
Which I feel is very on like par for the course for me. He said, all those asking, yes, I'm doing pretty much dry January again. Only drinking on weekends and 1 or 2 during the week if there's football on, or if it's a Thursday. You're all welcome to join,
dude. I mean, but it is very hard for me. I'm drinking has been an easy thing not to really do, because I guess like throughout the weeks being on the road and gone, it's like I'm not gonna drink when I'm in a hotel and shit like that.
Right? Yeah.
Now it could possibly be a little different. I think. I think once I get through January, I'm probably going to try to ride it out to the Super Bowl, because once I get that far, it's like I can wait a couple more days. But I have transitioned my palate to, I think I'm turning into like a whiskey Coke guy.
Yeah,
which is fire, dude.
Yeah, and very on point again. I went to the Nailers game Friday, and I had 1 double rum and diet. So doing a little bit better.
Hell yeah. I mean, dude,
making improvement.
Yeah, listen, at least we're not drinking 30 beers a night anymore.
Right.
That's an improvement in itself.
Which at $2 beer nights can easily happen.
For sure.
What about you? Any big resolutions?
So I think, kind of like the typical ones, like you said, I would say I'm going to lose weight, and I'm not putting a number on it. I don't care how much weight I lose. I just want to shrink my stomach down.
Right. That's my main goal.
So whatever weight that is, whether it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, I'm not trying to get shredded. I'm not even trying to get skinny. I'm just trying to lose the belly. That's it.
Yeah.
And then truthfully, I really just want to keep focusing on like my mental, man. Like I've been going on a awesome trajectory up, and I've just figured out how to navigate thoughts and stresses and things, and I feel so good mentally. It's like I just want to keep fucking going that way.
Hell yeah.
So that's basically my 2. And then 2 difficult ones would be, 1, I would love to win this year's season of Big Brother, which I say it every year, which you never know. It could happen. Hopefully they get back to in-person type things, and you go and like it's like they interview you and everything like that. The couple times I've did it, I've just sent in a video. So hopefully we can do the in-person things. And then, dude, truthfully, I wouldn't mind having a baby. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds odd. I don't even have a vagina to put it in right now. But like, I would be pumped to have a baby this year.
Shooting high for this year. Hell yeah.
30s, turning 30 was wild. It's like and I know this sounds so funny because birthdays really past, what would you say, 25, 26 just don't mean dick, really.
Yeah, they're kind of sad.
They're kind of sad,
to be honest.
So like as soon as I turn 30, it's like I just feel like the mental clarity is just so there. Like I hate to even brag about it, but like,
I mean, that is like the main focus of life, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like that, like to be like mentally clear and happy is like the main goal of life. I feel like
agreed, and like the fact that like I feel like I'm there, but know that there's just so much more that I can do excites me. So new job, 30 years old. Back home throughout the week, we'll be able to do stuff with you guys on weeknights and, go out to eat or have a couple beers, watch games, just all of that stuff excites me. So I'm looking forward to this year. And I think that was it. I think those were the only couple ones that I remember writing down.
Yeah, I really I want to keep to them this year because I tried to learn. I think French last year was one of them. I want to continue that, and it didn't really work out for a while. But I definitely want to stick to something throughout the whole year.
Which I'm excited. I think now that I'm working from home and my days don't start till 9. I think I'm gonna start going on hot boy morning walks.
Hell yeah.
Like just like no task really, just to get out, move the legs a little bit, not running, not sprinting, just doing my thing, walk around the neighborhood, and then in the evenings when it starts warming up and it's light longer, I may do like the evening big loop and just that way I trick my brain into working out, even though it is working out and it's me getting out and doing something.
Yeah, I love those, like, because I do that on like Sunday nights, and I try to like fit one into the week too. I do like later at night, I'll go walk, do a few miles. I mean, I love doing that. But I need to also start doing something in the morning because I always feel like just hell in the mornings. Because like working from home, right? There's no, like, you don't have to commute. There's no like time between getting up and then I take a 10-minute shower and then you can log on. You know
what's your like start? Like, what time do you have to be ready to fucking go?
It depends because there's like 3 different shifts. So it's either like one's a flex, so you can either start at 7, basically 7 to 9, and I always start at 8:30.
Yeah.
Everyone else takes advantage of getting done early. I just always start it. So it's either, for me, it's 8:30. Or 8:45 on wire duty. So.
Yeah, because I know for me, like I was looking at the schedule and everything. 9 seems to pretty much be like the start time. It doesn't look like anything earlier than that. So I think I'm gonna still wake up early, but waking up early, it'll be different because I won't have to force myself. Like, it won't be a rush to get up early.
Right.
Knowing that I have all that time, make some coffee, drink some coffee, go outside, throw a little, like just get up so I can do something. And then that way by the time I start actual work, and I'm sure there'll be days where I sleep in and shit. Like,
oh, for sure.
I get it. But like, I'm going to try to get that rhythm going, get the blood and brain flowing before I actually sit down at the computer. I'm trying to think what, that's pretty much it. JT's gone now. JT is living his Hotlanta lifestyle. He seems to be in a pretty sick ass location. Dude.
Really?
Like, he's right now his temporary housing's right by what they call the Battery, which is connected to where the Braves play. He's like,
oh, sick.
So many bars, breweries. He's like open container. You just walk around and drink. So,
because I talked to him like the first couple of days he was down there, and not really since, so I didn't really ask him about getting settled in and everything yet.
Yeah, him and Angie just got approved for the place that they wanted to live. And it's pretty cool because I guess, and he'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but if I understand this correctly, where they live, it's like a cool little community, bunch of pools, walking trails, everything like that. But they also have housing in this location to where if friends and family come down, you can rent these places like hotels.
That's nuts.
So like, instead of like, spending money but having to stay like 10 15 minutes away,
right,
you literally can just stay in the community.
I mean, bigger cities are just wild.
That's
really just like a concept
wild.
I would never think of because I grew up in Wheeling.
They really are so wild. And I was watching and listening to the Tim Dillon show. Rogan was on it last night, and they were talking about like what is like the city in the United States. It's got to be New York City. Like,
oh, for sure.
And again, I didn't fact check this, but Tim Dillon's a pretty smart dude, even though he's a big fat comedian. He said like New York City predates America. Like, that was like one of the first like big time cities that were going on, and that's like kind of, they were talking about like okay, here we go. I'll spin it off. Where would you live if you couldn't live in America? Like say something happened and like you had to go live somewhere else. Is there anywhere that off the top of your head because really I haven't been to a lot of places.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like so sheltered. I've never been out of the U.S. I always said like if the purge was real, I would go to like Toronto. Just because I've always wanted to go to Canada. But other than that, I'm trying to think. Like, I really want to go to France, like travel around Europe. I don't know about living there because I don't know anything about it. Yeah. But I feel like over there it'd be cool to at least try out for a little bit.
For sure. And again,
or
like
Italy or whatever.
Like you said, I don't know anything about these places. I would say Sweden would probably be one that I feel like I could fit in. I've always like wanted to go and like see London and all those England places.
And that's probably smart because the transition is probably a lot easier somewhere like that.
Well, and
which again, I'm stupid. I don't know, but I feel like it'd be a lot easier there.
That's what Tim said. Tim was like, you would think everybody would go back to their quote unquote homeland, like where they were from.
Right.
He was like, because he was like, wouldn't you, to Rogan, he goes, wouldn't you want to go back to Italy? Like, that's your people. He's like, I would want to go back to Ireland. Like, that's my people. For the same reason, like you said, the transition.
And I feel like that's like a generational thing. I feel like 100 years ago, like our great grandparents, like that was something like very important to us. We're just like, I don't fucking know what I am.
Isn't it crazy?
And I don't know why. That's just like a random thought.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I mean, it's because we are. And I know it sounds so stupid for anybody listening. I'm about to say this, but like we are like true Americans. Like my parents weren't from somewhere else.
Right.
My grandparents weren't from somewhere else. Like they've always been in America.
And it's become such like a melting pot of like cultures where like back then like you lived in different areas. You know what I mean? Like different neighborhoods and shit. So I'm sure like you're around different communities.
For sure. It's extremely interesting. So I found that odd. That's why they were talking about it, because they were like, if something really did pop off, they're going to either attack LA. And then he was like, would that be the worst thing? and then he said LA and like New York, Manhattan area. So that was very, very fucking interesting.
Yeah. I think the biggest story of this year so far is the Idaho murders being solved. Well, seemingly being solved. But just how ridiculous is that? What was he first right off the bat? The guy looks exactly how he should look.
For sure.
Yeah, he looks like a young Anthony Bourdain, like, which kind of hurts me because I really like Anthony. But like he looks like he's a crazy person.
For sure.
But then like once he's like in a doctorate program, right, for criminal justice.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
With like an emphasis of like murder crimes, right? Because like that's what he wrote theses. Is that the right?
Theses. Yeah, what would the plural?
Theses. I think.
Yeah,
I think
let's go with that. Let's go theses.
Like about like interviewing murderers and stuff. And then it seemed like he like studied all these murderers and he was like, where did they go wrong? And then he just did all the exact same things where they went wrong.
That's what I think is so weird, because it seems like he is a person that has been planning on doing this since he was 9.
Really?
Like, well, just think about it. Like, who goes to school to study murderers to be a murderer?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that might be the first time, at least in America, that I can think of that there is a mass murderer that literally was going to educate himself on how to murder people.
Right. And at the same time, like, I'm really big into documentaries and like different decade documentaries, and you always like. They always have their prolific like murderers or whatever, like serial killers and stuff. And I felt like we never really, to a large degree, had the same thing. And then now it's like the Gabby Petito stuff, and now this, like we have for some reason all these crazy crimes that are going on.
Well, and it makes there's 2 things I can say to this, because I think about this not often, but every time it comes up, it's like, okay, on one half, were the murderers and crime. Was it exactly where it was at years ago, but we just didn't hear about it because of social media, TVs, even newspapers, radio? Or are the reason that it's coming out more is because when any of this stuff happens, I don't want to say idolize, but that's all anybody talks about. It's like, so-and-so's here,
sure.
This happened. So you see it on social media, TV. It's like, I really wonder if it's, I mean, again, I don't want any of the murder stuff to happen, but I want to tell myself it at least has been like this forever, because I hope it's not escalating because we quote unquote idolize these people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that, I mean, I feel like that, that's been an issue for a while.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think another weird thing that I heard about this is, I guess, and again, I don't know. We don't know anything about this kid's personality. I don't know how he acts, whatever. But there's been reports that say that his friends or colleagues or whoever was around him said that once they figured all this stuff out in the timeline, that he was noticeably a happier person once he came back after allegedly, which we pretty much
Yeah.
think he did it, but allegedly, to be safe, did all this stuff, which is even wilder to me to hear that.
And that would make sense with your theory that like this has been like the thing on his back, right, his whole life.
Yeah.
Like this is like what his whole purpose was, and then he did it. So that
Now
he
it's
was
just
happier.
like, my life.
He has that
destiny.
mental clarity.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
It is wild.
But so yeah, we think he did it, and so what is all the evidence against him? He took his phone with him, so they like pinged all the telephone poles to get his exact location during the murders. He hit the same vehicle, his personal vehicle, to drive there, and then beforehand he circled the house like 30 times in the same vehicle.
Which again, if you're educating on yourself
Right.
on how to do this, that's 3 no-nos right there.
Right. And then like the one that everyone says is like that profile of like crazy like manipulative person, like they travel back to the scene of the crime afterwards.
Yeah.
And like there's videos that I saw at the vigil or whatever, they're doing like a prayer or whatever the situation is for the victims. And there's a person that fits his profile walking by in the videos.
That creeps me
It's like,
out.
what are you doing?
Yeah, that creeps me out. Dude, okay. All right. Did you hear about the big Kansas City football fan?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you're gonna love this, dude. You're gonna love this shit. So you know how each fan base has their big fan that's always on the TV, like the Raiders, the dude with the spikes on his shoulder, the Steeler guy that used to wear the keg thing around him that was always shown.
Which very quick sidebar: the females that they showed during the bowl games.
Yeah.
I love that TV time of those females. Great stuff. There.
Great stuff. So the Kansas City guy had one. He wore a mask, was like a known fan, whatever it is, and I don't know specific details, but it comes out that he was able to go to every single game because on the way to these events, sometimes he would rob banks. He would rob banks.
And what do they trace it where they like the away games
to be able to fund these trips? But he always had a mask on TV, so nobody would know who the guy is. And then eventually, after I think a couple years of him doing it, they finally caught him.
That's wild.
I mean,
because first off, who robs a bank anymore?
I know.
Because one, you don't get very much money.
Yeah.
And B, like I don't know how it's possible to get away with it, especially multiple.
I know. And I heard it, and I'm like, dude, what is this? The 70s, the 60s?
Yeah.
Like, how are you robbing banks?
Yeah, on like horseback.
Yeah, what the fuck? But I got a kick out of that one because it's like, dude, imagine liking a team so much to be able to go to every game, you resort to robbing banks.
That's great stuff. He should get the fan of the year if they have that award. How could you not?
How could you not give him
I mean,
the fan
that
of the
guy
year?
would go to lengths to go to any game possible.
Hall of Fame. I say you induct him in the Hall of Fame right now.
I agree.
Right now. But, dude, on a real note, though, the Damar Hamlin situation, very, very scary, dude.
Very scary. Yeah, that's one of those moments you just will always remember where you were.
Yeah.
It was on, but I don't think I was like watching it and I looked up and like the ambulance was on the field and stuff. It's just crazy situation. You just never want to see that. You forget that is like a possible thing. You know, it's so mundane or so regular that you watch games like that until it actually happens.
No, agreed. Like you forget that those are humans. As weird as that sounds,
right?
Like, you forget that, like, and just when he hits the dude, he gets up, and then he just collapses. It's like his head smashes the carpet. Like, ugh. So I'm happy he's alive. Happy he's doing well. Shout out the Buffalo training staff on keeping him where he needed to be, and shout out the Cincinnati hospitals for getting it done.
For sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if we've seen one like to that magnitude where he literally died like twice. Right?
I was trying to think. I don't think I ever have it to that extent.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever have.
People have collapsed, and it's a big deal. But to die twice, fighting for your life, even afterwards, no one knew.
I mean, the grossest thing I can remember seeing, and again, this wasn't even gross. This was just cardiac stuff. Was the basketball player from Louisville?
Right. Yeah.
That's like the one thing that I remember always. I'll always remember this, and yeah, I mean
Shazier too. That I remember.
Oh yeah,
where I was for that one.
That's right.
Different situation, obviously, but to see, picking your hands up as
Yeah.
a sign of I can't move my legs was just a nuts thing to see.
Yeah, which, dude, Shazier, I saw him when I went to the WVU game this past year. Massive, dude.
Yeah.
He's just fucking huge.
I bet.
He is a massive man. And like, I just remember coming around the corner because we were in a box, and I was just like, I can't remember who was behind me. I was like, dude, that's fucking Ryan Shazier. And then we got to see him when he was leaving, and I was like, holy fuck, this is a massive boy.
Yeah. And, props to them for canceling the game, basically, and saying, like, fuck, this isn't worth it. Shouldn't have taken that long.
Shouldn't have taken that long.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated. I get everybody's points, yada, yada. Dude, it's a fucking human life. I don't care about gambling. I don't care about seeding. I don't care what is happening.
Yeah.
And the multi-million,
fuck
thousand.
Skip Bayless. Shrimp Bayless.
Skip Bayless, dude. I don't care about that stuff. I want to make sure this dude's alive. They should have canceled it sooner. Yes, they did the right thing, but I was getting so frustrated seeing all the tweets. It's like, this is the fantasy playoff championship weekend. There's millions of dollars. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You fucking
As
nerds.
someone who was in the fantasy championship, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, dude, oh my God. I'm happy I brought it up and then you said that. Another league I was in, it's been an all-out war in the group message since that happened because we do 2 weeks. So, like, obviously those players didn't get points, and then now there's this week, and it was just a fight to the death. And I eventually texted back, and I was like, guys, you're giving me a fucking headache. I don't care. I hope you both lose now. You both are annoying the fuck out of me.
And so now that we've established that, he's fine and everything and it's all good, I will explain my fantasy situation. So I had a Buffalo receiver. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. And then
Gabriel?
Yes. Gabe. Yes. Davis. Yes.
Gabe Davis.
And I was up like 10 points. And the person I was playing had Josh Allen. So I was going to lose. So that happened. Obviously, I was up like 7-8 points. So exactly like the group chat, it's like, what the fuck do you do? So I should have held out, but we agreed to just split the money.
Which that was the thing. So we had split the money. We had, because same scenario. What it happens to be one of my buddies was winning now, but the kid that he was playing, so my buddy was up by 12 or 16, something like that. But the other kid had Josh Allen, Joe Mixon, and the kicker who didn't get to play.
Yeah.
So his argument is, I would be beating you by like 30 or 40 points right now.
Right.
But my buddy RJ's argument is, but you're not, because they didn't score those points. So
yeah, and we like in the discussions, it was like, do we just score those? Like we at that time, it's like they're gonna play this game at some point.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna be this week, but they're gonna play it. So are you just gonna pick up and do those two players? I'm gonna lose at that point. So obviously that's not my pick.
For sure.
That might be the one that makes the most sense, but from my standpoint, I don't want to do that. B was like to just run it back, like just use both teams again, start from scratch in the next week. And then C was like, well, just call it, like those are the points right now. And then I would win at that point. So we didn't know what to do. And then we split it. And then the next day they called it. And basically, so the app said that I would have won, which is a bummer, but you'll have that.
I think they just ended up deciding on that this is the only week that will count, which is still, it's fair, but it's still not fair. Like, I don't know. So there was splitting the money. There was change the payouts to 600 and 400. So it still gives the winner an advantage when somebody gets money. Then I thought of an idea. I thought it was a good idea, but I mean, I get it when you're both, I'm not in the championship, whatever. Since it's 2 weeks, I said since one kid, because we have a 2-quarterback league. So it's like 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs.
I've never seen that.
3 receivers, 2 flex, 2 weeks. So it's kind of wild. I said, okay, well, since RJ got to play with the full roster the week prior, and the kid's name Will, and Will was down a quarterback, running back, and a kicker, RJ should just have to bench a quarterback, running back, and a kicker this week. I thought that was fair, but I get it. Again, I'm not in it, so I don't care. I think like I said, they ended up just deciding this week is the only week that counts. But man, I'm sure there's been a lot of arguments and still will
Right.
be a lot of
Yeah, and
arguments.
a lot of people weren't happy with our decision either, because basically it was between me and the other guy. I said, well, he said if I'll split it if that's okay with Bubba, and I said that's fine with me. Did you see on Twitter though, what another similar situation, another group they did? They just made the teams on Madden and just didn't sim the game, but made the computers play each other.
That's cool.
So they all sat there and watched basically the fantasy week in one game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be very fun to do. We were just throwing out a bunch of scenarios. I was like, void this year, double the pot next year, expand the playoffs, and guarantee those two make the playoffs. Like, we were just saying wild shit because I mean, nobody was going to agree. There's not one
never.
thing where it was quote unquote fair, regardless of the agreement. So I don't know.
You'll have that. Hey, I was very excited. I made $300 off of it, and then we kind of decided we were trying to go to Penguin game, so we're gonna go to Penguin game next month. So I immediately spent all the money basically on Penguins tickets, but I wouldn't have to spend the money.
Exactly. At least you didn't have to spend your own money. You got to spend the fantasy money. Who came in last?
Schwartz did. Officially.
Dude, he's gonna look good with a shave head.
I think he's gonna look good too. And I mean, it's just a couple weeks. I would be distraught. So I can't say that. Yeah.
Well,
it's no big deal, but at the same time,
a guy like
he would look a lot better than me bald.
For sure. No, I agree. But yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping. I was rooting for somebody that had a whole head of hair that would have to.
So add it to the resolution list. I'm trying to grow long hair. I don't know if it's going to work out or not.
So how long are you trying to go?
It's always a struggle. I don't know. I have weddings in the summer, so I want to at least go till like June, probably June or July.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have to cut it at that point.
I think most of my weddings are fall weddings.
Yeah, I have one or two in the fall as well.
I'm trying to think.
It's a big year. Big year for weddings.
Big year. I don't know if I have any in the summer. I mean, I'm sure I do.
I'm in one. I'm in my first wedding in August, so
you excited?
I'm very excited for that.
Where is it? Around here? Somewhere else?
Yeah, it's in Grandview.
That'll be
so we have a cabin. The groomsmen, and I'm excited.
See, for me, like that's all I need. Like that's a top tier weekend already.
Yeah. So we don't know about the bachelor party yet. The groom came last night, and we were talking about it at the bar. We'll see. A beach trip was brought up. Vegas was brought up. So I don't know. I've never been to Vegas. That's quite a scene.
I've never
there.
been there either. But all I know is if I ever go, it's got to be at least it's got to max 4 days.
Like, for sure. That's what everyone says, right? 3 or 4 days, and that's it.
I mean, so I think I'm in one wedding. I'm at least in 2 weddings. I'm a co-best man in one.
Hell yeah.
I'm in another. And then I feel like I have maybe two more, which is odd because normally, like now that I'm getting so used to all this wedding stuff, I'm kind of digging the fall weddings. Because it's not hot as fuck.
In weddings, that is always my biggest issue, is I get way too hot.
Yeah.
So I've never been to a fall wedding, but I feel like I'm going to love it.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, you'll have the guys like me that are like, dude, it's football season. What are you thinking? But like, I like it, though. It's, like I just have Neil's wedding because we just recently did that, pop in my head. We got cabins up in Oglebay. We all stayed up there. It was, chilly at night in the mornings, warmed out the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all cabins across the street, watching football games, drinking. It was a great fucking time.
Yeah, and that's got to be the move, like you said, the cabins.
Gotta be.
It doesn't get better than that.
Well, I mean, even the bachelor parties. Like I've been let's see, how many did I have last year? 2, 3, I think 3. And again, I will do whatever the groom wants to do. I'm just saying, personal preference. There was nothing more fun than just going and getting a lake house for a weekend and just boozing and for Neil's, we went and got a lake house. We brought TVs. We had like 3 or 4 TVs. We watched football all day, like did drinking games throughout the day and just hung out. Like it was awesome. It was the best. It was the best. But I'm actually haven't talked about bachelor parties with any of these other ones yet, so I'm anxious to see what direction that goes.
Yeah,
I think Brady will probably do the lake house route because we had a lot of fun. Dupes is the one that I don't know what he'll.
Because that is seemingly what it is, right? You either go all out or it's something, more chill, like like a cabin or whatever.
And again, now with, like I said, anybody can do what they want to do. If you're in the wedding, you're along for the ride, period.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what's decided. But with how expensive renting tuxes are and how expensive all that stuff is, it's like splitting it between 12 to 16 guys, a sick weekend lake house or whatever. It's cheap. You buy a fuck ton of booze. You get the hamburgers, hot dogs going. You get the grill going. You might go out to a bar one night and you just have fun with the boys.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you have to go somewhere where you're like, well, since we are here, we got to go here and we got to do this. Like there's no expectation in the best way possible.
After anything back or not back for you? You hate anything?
I'm trying to think. I hate after this whole Damar situation, I hate people. I hate people that forget that we're all humans.
Right.
If that makes sense. I hate people that dislike or not dislike. I hate people that forget that like we're all blessed to just wake up every day and breathe.
Right.
So I hate those people.
I agree. And like going off of that as well, I hate that like social media, like free speech, great, you're entitled to everything. I hate that like because millions of people can see what you say that you have to comment on everything right when it happens. Like just how about shut the fuck up and see what happens?
Amen.
Yeah, like
amen.
Why do you need to state your opinion on the games and how it should shake out and everything like Sid Bayless? Like just wait and see if he's going to fucking live before you put your bullshit opinion out there.
It is insane what kind of arrogance these people have just because they have a blue check next to them.
Yeah, exactly.
That now you can pay for.
I agree. So for me, back is, again, hashtag pretty much dry January. So going to live by that motto. And not back is DoorDash. And DoorDash is not back because I ordered Jersey Mike's this week. No, not Jersey Mike's. Chipotle. I ordered Chipotle. And it said it was going to be there really quick. I was pretty excited about that. Was watching the ticker, and I, got the image that was dropped off. They dropped it off at the wrong house.
Oh, hate that.
You hate to see it. And I immediately texted her. I'm like, that is not my doorstep. And no response. And they're like, connecting you to... So I literally walked around like my little, like the houses around my neighborhood, and I couldn't find it.
No way.
So then
I would have been pissed.
So I immediately got in the car and had to drive to the Highlands to get the same order and bring it back home.
See, because for all you know, they could have just dropped it off at their house and just put a picture and just got free food.
Yeah, exactly. And I immediately got a refund, which was cool. But like, as much as that is, like, it should be an easier process than
for sure. And again, you said it, nailed it on the head. All that stuff's getting so expensive.
Yeah, which is, let me get to my hate next.
There we go, love it.
But hold on, what was I gonna say? I had somebody, so I have like a gravel fucking road off. Like, there's two ways to get to my house, and the gravel road goes to like my driveway, which is my back of my house. So like you can't get in that way.
Yeah.
So I had someone go up there and try to drop my food off before. So I have very detailed directions. I have a paragraph of how to get to my house, and it is not a hard house to get to. And they
can vouch. I've been there.
And they have a GPS. How does that happen? I don't understand.
Oh, dude, I hate when your food gets picked up and then they're like, oh, they have to drop somebody else's food off first.
Yeah.
Hate that shit.
Yeah. And now you could pay like $5 extra to be first in the queue. Like, what is this, TouchTunes?
Capitalism, baby.
What is this, TouchTunes?
Yeah,
fuck that bullshit.
Dude, fucking, TouchTunes is another one. TouchTunes is so, dude, that's probably the most brilliant invention because drunk people just throw their money and get their song played first.
And mine is connected to my Apple Pay, which is terrible. Terrible decision on my part.
Oh, yeah.
Because I throw the $20 in.
Hell yeah. Fuck it.
So on things I hate this week, first, things I love. I've seen a lot of clips of like professional darts or competitive darts.
Yeah.
So one thing I love is oddity televised sports. Like competitive darts, cornhole, bowling. We need a station dedicated to those sports.
Love it.
Because at one time, like ESPN was like that. They played sports 24/7. There was no shows, programming. That's all they did. So you had like fucking tractor pulls and cornhole and shit like late at night.
That is so true.
Yeah. Back in the
is
day,
true.
where like MTV played music videos actually, and ESPN played sports all the time.
Because there's nothing better than watching two dudes or two gals duke it out in the cornhole.
Yeah.
They're automatic ringers every
I'm
match.
talking sumo wrestling. I mean, capture the flag. Like, why don't we do that stuff?
Dude, me and Randy watched sumo wrestling when we went to Deep Creek in like November, and because we were just like getting there, unpacking, turn the TV on, we couldn't turn it off.
I'm sure it's electric.
We were like, this is unreal. These guys are like 22, 23 years old, and they're like 700 pounds. It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, so we need like an ESPN Ocho. I think that'd be sweet.
Love that.
And what I hate this week is hidden fees. Fuck hidden fees. There's an all-out war against Ticketmaster, which, side note, should be illegal.
Agreed.
Everything I've learned in like business school and stuff like that, like monopolies, why is no one suing them?
Agreed.
And then like that's their whole platform, hidden fees. And now DoorDash, so there is like $6 delivery fees back in the day, right? It was stupid. Why even do that? So now it's like 24 cents delivery fee. But then you get to the bottom and it's like taxes and fees $7. So they just fucking put it in there.
And what's crazy is I assume just because I've DoorDashed a fuck ton just because of work and stuff, hotels and all that stuff. So there's sometimes where you have the awkward run-ins where like you open the door, they're still there, and you're like, oh shit. So like you talk to them a little bit, and you would think that all those fees and stuff would go to the driver.
Yeah, it doesn't.
They only get the tips.
Right.
They only get the tips, and they only get like a small percentage of the cost or whatever, and kind of breaks my heart a little bit.
It does. And like the restaurants get fucked too. Like they're like technically losing money, but they have to do it to all stay competitive.
And what's wild, dude, some places DoorDash will make the price of certain things $1 or $2 more
Absolutely.
than the actual place.
Like whenever I was getting it from Chipotle, like I got me and my mom something, and it was like $45.
It's crazy.
And when I went there, it was $24.
I know.
It's half. It's half the price.
It's crazy to me. Sidebar. Have you been to that new Raleigh Sports store up at the Island yet?
No, I saw it was opening, but I haven't been
It's dope, bro.
Really?
Like
is it like merchant? Like, is it apparel, I should say?
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna try to rattle them off. WVU, Pitt, Penn State, Ohio University, Pittsburgh Steelers, Ohio State, Cleveland Browns, all the local teams, Guardians, Pirates, Penguins.
Wow.
Now, again, it's not cheap stuff. And what I mean by that is it is stuff that is made very well. So therefore, it's a little more expensive.
Right.
But I'd rather buy that and have it last 7 or 8 years than buy a T-shirt that shrinks on one wash and I can never wear again.
Absolutely. And something else I could add to the weekly hate is Fanatics. I fucking hate that site. Every time, like, I went to a Ohio State game, where else? Like, I go to these random sporting events of teams I don't like, and I always order something off that site, and it's always shit.
Always.
So I love to hear that it's good, stuff up there.
And that's what I was telling my mom. It was me and my mom were up there, and we were looking at price tags and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is pretty pricey. And she's like, yeah, but then we were talking on the way out. It's good quality stuff. Like, I'd rather go buy a nice WVU polo for 60, 70, I'm just making the price up, 60, 70 bucks, whatever it may be, knowing that I can wear it for the next 10 years.
Because if you order something online, like getting into the fees, it's going to be the same fucking price.
100%.
And it's going to be terrible quality.
And they have jerseys and everything. I was
Really?
very, very impressed.
Damn.
Very
I'm gonna
impressed.
get up there.
Very cool place. Trying to think, what do I love and hate this week? I hate that everybody still pretends that we're in a 2020 pandemic anytime somebody says we're sick.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't feel good. I'm going out of my way to stay away from people. I had to finish up my job, wore a mask to be kind. I do that because I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just get so annoyed anytime sick. I know is it COVID? Is it COVID? Is it COVID? Guys, we used to get sick all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, are we really back to this point again? Like, and I know it's an ongoing thing. It just is annoying to act like when I wasn't in high school and we were sick as fuck that you wouldn't go hang out in your friend's basement all week long. So that's what I hate.
And I'm all for being mindful and sympathetic because I'm sure people are still getting sick. And I'm sure older people and people's relatives are still getting sick, and that's an issue. But at the same time, like I feel like when the governing like bodies are saying that like basically we don't give a fuck anymore, like how could you be discriminative
Agreed.
about going out in public?
And Neil's birthday was this weekend. KP's 1-year-old birthday party was this weekend. Yeah, I wanted to be there. Obviously, I want to go to KP's first birthday party.
Yeah.
I literally told Neil, and I'm sure he told Shannon, I was like, I don't give a fuck if I get you guys sick.
Right.
I could care less
Yeah.
about getting you guys sick. But I don't, there will be other babies and stuff there. Dude,
Yeah.
I don't want to get the kids
Right.
sick. Like, credit to me for being a selfless human being.
Good on you.
Yeah, credit to me, you know? So, yeah, I'm bummed. Shout out KP. I'll be at the second one. You'll get your present this week, and I hope you had a great time.
Yep. Shout out KP.
Any other things you can think of on the list? Might as well rattle them out if you
Yeah, a
have
couple
some.
things. First off, another thing I thought was very funny. I didn't even know the process existed, but the majority vote for the Speaker of the House.
I just learned about this too.
Yeah, I didn't either. And it's so funny because there is some guy on TikTok who like got elected into the House as well, and he was like, "That's basically like our draft day. Like our family comes and everything. Like my kids are there." And we're sitting there for like 8 hours, and they're just voting like over and over and over again. How many people are there? I don't know how many members.
I really have no idea.
So they go in alphabetical order, front to back, and they're like, "Who do you vote for?" Blah 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 blah, and then they go to the next person, and they do that for like hours. It's like, are we really? That's the process.
Dude, I saw it got lit. I saw like some guy like had to get pulled off. Did you see that?
When?
There was like a video that G Page tweeted. It was like some guy's walking down the aisle and turns and starts talking shit to another dude, and then
Really?
another guy walks down and starts getting in this guy's face, and another dude comes behind him and like grabs the dude's head and like pulls him off. It was like a WWE reenactment.
Well, I mean, not to get too political, but that Matt Gaetz guy, fuck that guy.
yeah. See, again, I thank God I don't know who that is, and I'm happy I don't.
So apparently the overall issue is like it's a Republican majority, right? So they're voting in like someone in their own party, and like I'm not even gonna like pick sides, but so like you should have your game plan, right? You would
For
think
sure.
that like you're going in, it's gonna be easy fucking process, but the issue is apparently this guy is not right wing enough. Like he's a Republican, but he's not extreme enough for
Yeah.
this. So there's like 20 people that say this guy is not in their favor, and they need so many votes. So because of those 20 Republicans that say he's not basically Donald Trump, that we're not going to elect him in.
That's so funny, dude.
So you think you'd be like, are we going to, like, is there another fucking process? We're going to vote for somebody else? So they do it over and over again, and the same fucking 20 people have said no 18 times.
Dude, isn't it crazy to think too that like we're already in 2023 and by October, November it's going to be Royal Rumbles for all these, and again, debates sometimes are the funnest thing to watch on TV.
The drinking games for those are great.
I'm
too.
not even going to act like I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not excited for the Ron DeSantis Trump Republican debate.
Right.
It's going to be fire.
It is going to be fire. But so Matt Gaetz, getting back to him, he's a very right-sided guy. He wrote Donald, like he stood up in front of however many people, and who's your vote? Blah blah blah. Donald J. Trump. Like, come on, really?
That's a cornball move.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, come on, like,
And like this dude, like he has like 3 charges for sex trafficking or something like that.
ugh.
That he's got, and he got out of a DUI already because he basically said, "I'm not taking the fucking test." I'm a
Dude,
senator."
who is he? Andrew Tate?
Basically, yeah. That was the other thing I had. Andrew Tate just gets bodied by Greta Thunberg or however they say your name.
That shit is so great. She like dude, she literally she bodied him on Twitter.
And he thought he was sick, dude. Made like
Oh
a
my
montage or whatever, being an
Oh.
asshole.
It was so funny, dude. And then her tweet after where she's like, "That's why you got to recycle your pizza boxes."
Yeah,
it's just top tier by Greta. So shout out Greta for that.
Yeah, shout out Greta. I agree.
I'm trying to think. But oh yeah, wild that they just passed that law in Louisiana that you have to put your driver's license in to watch porn now.
Yeah, that's a little worrisome.
Which again, like man to man, I probably might think about not watching porn anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
they got data now. They collecting
I mean, dude,
all your
listen,
data, statistics, and
they track everything. I don't want them to know which fucking which kink gets me off.
yeah, they know enough already.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think very very interested to see if the porn rates drop in Louisiana after all this.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that might be it. WVU's back to sucking cock. They got destroyed by Kansas last night.
Yeah, we're back again. W stinks. All sports. The Penguins stink.
Yeah, which correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they were winning in the third period of that Winter Classic, right?
Which is, they every game they're winning and then they ended up losing. Yeah, that looks sweet. Couple people went to it. I want to go to that stadium really bad. Not sure if I want to watch hockey there, but everything looks sweet about Boston and that game in general.
It's bucket list for me too. I want to eventually go see a game there. Let's see. Winter Classic. Hell, that might. Anything else? That might be it for me that I can think of.
I think that is my entire list. Yeah, that's all I had.
Cool. So everybody that's tuned in this week, all of our repeat listeners, we appreciate you. This is our first actual recorded episode in the new year. We had a few banked over the holiday times just to kind of give us a little break. So we are here. We're back. If this is your first time listening, thank you. Make sure to subscribe on the YouTube and the podcast platforms. And I hope everybody that's banged up out there like myself, hydrate, vitamin C, vitamin D, get yourself better. No better month to get sick than the first one of the month because it's only up from here. Make sure to follow me, Twitter and Instagram at JuiceFisherman. And as always, we want to thank you. Bubba, go ahead and take us out, pal.
Oh, shoot. I don't even know what to say.
You just say whatever you want. You literally just say whatever you want.
Follow me on Twitter at Bubba Slider. Follow me on Instagram at _Harry Slider. That's ZAR.
Z is in zebra, A is in apple, R as in Reebok.
Let's ride. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.